Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Bros here with a video that I never thought I would be making. This is actually one of the most surprising things to happen in Destiny 2 history, maybe even Destiny history, in my opinion. And that is, if you don't know, if you didn't hear, yesterday they announced that they were going to nerf the Luna's Howl and the Not Forgotten. The reason this is so surprising to me is because it's a pinnacle weapon. They introduced the pinnacle weapon system into the game, and so many people grind so hard for these weapons. Some people even go as far as paying thousands of dollars, not thousands, but I think the most expensive recap I've ever seen was $1,000, starting from 0 points when it was first found out that it existed. Um, but some people even went that far to get this weapon. Definitely the hardest weapon to get. Speaking of Not Forgotten, and Luna's Howl is probably the second hardest weapon to get in the game. Not counting RNG weapons like 1000k voices. But I honestly thought this day would never come. I'm on record so many times on stream saying that this is the way the game's going to be until Destiny 3 comes out. Bungie surprised the hell out of me, and I'm sure millions of other people that play this game or that even used to play this game that know these guns exist. It was a huge pleasant surprise for them to bring pinnacle weapons into the game, which makes this even more surprising that they're willing to nerf these pinnacle weapons that, like I say, they made so hard to get. So just like you all, I am so surprised. I literally was midstream and somebody came in my chat and said, "Yo, did you hear what they're doing with Luna's Howl Not Forgotten?" And I was like, "What?" So then I read it and I was even more surprised. Now, I'm going to put on the screen what they actually put in their Schwab. If you haven't read it, I recommend to go check that out. But I will definitely put the portion about Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten on the screen right now so you guys can see that. So it says, at the release of Destiny 2 Forsaken, 2 pinnacle weapons became available for players to earn in a competitive playlist in the Crucible. Each weapon has a unique quest requiring mastery of hand cannons to complete. There has been a lot of feedback on how the Pinnacle Crucible hand cannons stand above most other weapons in the sandbox. Today we'll be going through some balance changes planned for Season of Opulence. We wanted to start this conversation early to ensure players understood what change was coming, even if they were still on the path to acquiring these rewards. Here's the Destiny dev team to walk us through the planned changes. The Destiny dev team says, we wanted to give you a preview of some plans we have to balance Luna's Howl, Not Forgotten, and Season of Opulence. After significant amounts of feedback, internal discussion, and playtesting, we've decided to adjust how these hand cannons work. For some players, these weapons can represent a significant investment of time and the personal improvement needed to acquire them. When tuning, we attempt to take into account the time commitment players make to acquire weapons and balance that against how the weapons affect the different game modes. Magnificent Howl, the unique perk on these weapons, is too effective. It works in a neutral setting and rewards players for getting precision shots, something they would have done naturally. As a result, the time to kill of the game shifts to meet this new benchmark, and players feel the majority of primary weapons in Destiny 2 cannot compete with these pinnacle weapons. Our current plan is to make Luna's Howl Not Forgotten the only 150 RPM precision hand cannons. They will maintain some aspects of their current behavior while taking on the firing speed and damage of the 150 RPM hand cannons. Magnificent Howl will also be adjusted so that it increases only body shot damage, resulting in a 2 headshot, 1 body shot kill. Magnificent Howl will still give an advantage due to requiring less precision hits for optimal time to kill. Whew, that's a lot to take in, guys. And honestly, I was going to make this my review video, my opinion video, but I just can't, man. This is the second biggest decision that these guys have made, maybe even the biggest. I'm going to chalk up the biggest PvP decision being bringing shotguns back and getting rid of the double primary meta, but that's something that everybody wanted. Nobody was against that. In this case, I've seen all types of responses under Bungie's tweet. I've seen all types of responses in my Discord, on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Everyone is talking about it, and most people fall in the extremes. There's not many people in between that don't really care. Some people are like, I hate Bungie. I worked so hard to get this weapon. I came home from work and put in extra hours every day. I don't have the time to just sweat every day, so I had to put more commitment into getting Not Forgotten. And then you have people that, that haven't put that commitment in or can't put that commitment in, and that aren't good enough that go against the weapon and they hate it. So it's kind of like two extremes clashing. And Bungie had to pick a side. We see what side they chose. But point is, man, this is such a huge decision, and I'm so back and forth about how I feel about this that I'm releasing this video to inform you guys and to just open up my comment section for you guys' opinions on this nerf. And then tomorrow I'm going to make my opinion video because I have a lot to say, and I didn't want to make like a 30-minute video, so I figured it's good to just get this out there now and then make my opinion video separately. So that will be a lot more about me. This video is a lot more about you guys and the community and my community, because I'm really curious to see what the people think that support me, that watch my YouTube videos. So the biggest thing here, man, is let's talk about the nerf. They're changing the archetype to 150 RPM. I would have never guessed that this was the thing. I thought if they ever nerfed this weapon that they would make Magnificent Howl do less body shot damage, so you couldn't two-head one body with a 180, because that's just absolutely outrageous. But not only did they nerf the Magnificent Howl perk, but they nerfed the weapon itself. So this was a huge surprise, and I've always said this about Bungie. When they buff something or they nerf something, they don't know when to stop. In my humble opinion, they usually take it too far. They usually overbuff or over nerf. I think when they nerf things and buff things, they should just buff one thing at a time. Personally, that's my opinion. I think they should have said, all right, we're gonna either nerf Magnificent Howl or we're gonna make this a 150. Let's not nerf both at once, because this weapon means so much to so many people. Like I said, I'm not gonna tell you whether I agree with what they did or not yet, but I can say that I've been very consistent with thinking that Bungie, when they nerfed Nova Warp, they nerfed everything. They nerfed how much damage it can take, how long you're in it, how much energy every burst takes, how far it can go, how fast it can move. It's like nerf one or two things and see how it plays, and then drop another nerf if it needs another nerf. But they usually drive a weapon or subclass into the ground. Like, I'm very upset with what they did with Blade Barrage. But anyway, moving on from that, a 150 RPM, but it's going to be Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten are going to be the only two precision frame 150s in the game. Now, we don't know what that means yet. My speculation is that it's going to have like 180 recoil on a 150. I think the recoil is going to be very, very manageable. I think the recoil is going to actually be the exact same, just with a slower fire rate. The reason that I think that is because if you give this weapon like 150 recoil, like a Thorn type recoil, and nerf Magnificent Howl, you're basically killing the weapon, in my opinion. So I think there's going to still have to be something pinnacle about it, because even Magnificent Howl doesn't sound like it's going to be that good of a perk anymore. So it'll have to have like great recoil direction, almost no flinch, things like that, to make it still feel like the Not Forgotten and Luna's Howl. But anyway, guys, that's it. Sound off in the comments, man. I know there's going to be so many different opinions. Just keep it clean. You know what I mean? Keep it clean. Don't get disrespectful with each other. Try not to disrespect me. Anyway, I love you guys, man. Drop a like, and the next video should be pretty juicy with all my opinions in depth. Just really want to get my thoughts together before I go ahead and push them out. But yeah, man. Got surprised by Bungie. Have a good one, homies. Catch you all next time.
Zone C lost.